everybody. Wishing all of you a very good evening and welcome to upGrad Abroad's webinar on choosing the right career options after your MBA in Canada. I am Praneeth. I had the undergraduate admissions at upGrad. Super excited to be hosting you guys and warmly welcome you to our webinar. I think to begin with, you can start putting down all your questions that you've come to us with. I will ensure that our guest speaker, Rishab, who's an alumnus of the University Canada West in Vancouver, answer all our questions. So we'll make sure we do that. While I say that, I also want you guys to be putting all your questions in the Q&A button. I think it's easier to keep a track of the Q&A button. And also, we've got a list of the questions that you've been asking us when you registered for the webinar. Please let us know if there's anything else that you want us to cover. Top MBA colleges in Canada. Shashank says, is this webinar only for undergraduates? Well, Shashank, no, that's absolutely false. It's for both undergraduate and postgraduate students. We've got with us Rishab Jain, who I mentioned is an alumnus of University Canada West, is currently based in Canada, and will help us drive the discussion and discourse. Hi, Rishab, welcome to our webinar. Very good to see you. You're on mute. It has to happen once a day, I know, but...
Oh, I'm sorry. Good. How are you? Nice to see you.
Likewise. So we've got about 35, 40 students joining us. Normally the count will hit 100 very soon. So we're just going to stay here for about 2 or 3 minutes, wait for everybody else to join in. And until then, I'd love for you to introduce yourself, Rishab.
Hi guys, my name is Rishab and I am a UCW alumni. I passed out in August 2021 last year from UCW as an MBA student. And it was a difficult but overall really good journey. I'll really like to share all my experiences with you, how I came to Canada. I started my MBA, and after that I am on my work permit right now and then doing a full-time job in Canada. It's been a great journey throughout. I like to answer all your questions and share my experience as well.
Got that. It's lovely to host you. Just another minute or two and then we will start right away. I hope you got a list of questions also. My colleague, Ms. Arushi Rawat, had sent a question here to us. I think so. I'll keep that in perspective. These are some of the doubts that were asked by our learners while they were registering for the webinar. I think now should be a good time to start, Rishab. We're at 6:35, I think. We'll keep it short and concise. We've got more questions from Shashank. Mohammed Hussein, can we do MBA from Canada through online mode by staying in a home? Right, so Mohammed, Abhinav, Shashank, and anonymous attendee will make sure we answer all your questions, definitely. Rishab, so we'll start with you first. I'd love to know about your background. How did you end up doing an MBA in Canada? Which course you come from? And what led you to finally decide that an MBA would have been the right choice for you to further advance your career?
Yep. So basically, I after my 12th, I decided to do something, a different type of course rather than doing Mba or something. It was like I went to animations and multimedia. It is like a completely different field. I did 3 years in Chandigarh University, and then after that, I joined my family business. I worked with my dad for around 6 months or so, and then I was still looking for some good exposure, which was not possible in India. And even in India, I looked for various colleges for MBA, but I can say that unfortunately there are either like 2 good colleges where you can go, or there are just between colleges where you will go, but you fall up back in family business and you won't do anything good. So I decided to look for options for abroad, and then Canada is on the top of everyone's mind. And then UCW was a place where I got the opportunity to study because, first of all, they accepted students without the GMATs and every other requirements that the big universities they do require. For example, UBC, University of British Columbia, they have a really high standard of selecting candidates for MBA. But then everyone won't qualify for that, right? So I looked for UCW, and then at that time, it was like not that. Then again, it was in 2020 January, and then I started my MBA. Luckily, I was able to go for 3 months in campus because like the COVID was not started at that time. After 3 months, I did my foundation of there was like a foundation program of MBA. So for the students who don't have a BBA background or BCom background, they do require a foundation course. I did that foundation course for 3 months. After that, unfortunately, COVID happened, but still I got the opportunity to study online. Sorry. So I started studying online, and gradually I did all the 5 semesters. It was like, I'll frankly say, it is not that easy to do masters here in Canada. It is quite difficult. You need to study a lot. You need to prepare assignments. You need to work on your English skills. You need to make a lot of references in your work. I learned all that. It was like really difficult in the starting. Everyone was like, just leave MBA, just do some diploma or something. But then you know what you have, what you came for.
Absolutely.
And then and then I just did my 5 semesters continuously without taking a break, and within 1.5 year I did my MBA. And I was lucky that I did it with a good GPA. I was around like above 3 GPA. That is like really good in Canada.
Absolutely.
And then and then after that I went on my work permit. I got a job. Right now I work as an insurance advisor. That is like not an MBA related job typically, but yes, like in Canada, you need to get some experience in fields, in like any XYZ field.
Absolutely. I'm sorry to.
Before you get a good job.
I just have a request.
In MBA, because once you come here, people are like, businesses are giving experience. We cannot hire you. If you don't hire me, then how can I experience, right? So you have to land up in jobs. You have to try different things. Currently, I'm liking it. Possibly, I'll pursue it, and MBA will help me to further if I want to open my own brokerage firm.
Right. The other thing that so here's what I think you may want to switch to a better stable connection, because we sort of have a lag. We do hear you, but in the middle sporadically it's sort of dropping. So do you want to move to a stable Wi-Fi? Just
Yeah,
see.
sure. Just 1 second. No, hi. I hope this should be better now.
Yeah, we're doing a much better job. And super happy about knowing your journey. I think, like you said, I can only imagine how strugglesome it must have been. You walk into Canada and COVID breaks off, and so
Yeah.
well imagine how it must have been for you. But like the good part is that you do develop a very clear understanding of the Canadian job market, the Canadian life, and I think being in Canada and studying is a whole another experience. I think COVID hit the world almost parallelly. So, and I think I'm just surprised that even being on an online MBA for the entire duration, you still got yourself a great job, and you're on a post-study work visa. So that fills, I'm sure that fills all our attendees with hope that if they're, because they're only going to be doing the MBA, they're only going to be getting better jobs. The economy in Canada is only going to be making more jobs. So I'm sure that's very safe. You mentioned that everybody was telling you that you should take up a diploma rather than an MBA. As per your experience now, having been there in Canada for the last 2 years now,
Mhm.
what, according to you, is largely the difference when it comes to the job market for a PG diploma holder and an MBA?
So the main thing which was holding me back from doing any diploma or something was that it's just like if you do an if 100% of people come here in Canada, out of that 100%, at least I'll say 90-95% of the people land up in diplomas or PG diplomas or other degree programs. But if you do an MBA, just imagine like if there's a pile of 100 resumes and only 10 of them are MBA or above a degree or something. PhD are just like 1 or 2 out of 100. But if you stand out of that 100 people, you just hold that MBA degree and you are the 10 out of 100. That's an obvious reason that an employer will pick up your file most probably. He'll look up your file with an interest that other 90 people are just the usual people with the diplomas, with the PG diplomas, but this guy, this girl, this they have done MBA. That makes you stand out of everyone else. When I did my MBA, I applied for jobs. Before that, I also applied for part-time jobs, but I didn't get any response easily because the market is like very tight. Everyone has done diplomas and everything, so you don't know when you will land up in a job. You don't have much experience. I didn't had any experience from India. It was just my father's business, so I was just worried that I need to get some experience in Canada. But as soon as you get that MBA degree on your resume, it makes you stand out of everyone. They know that you have done something which other people have not done.
Absolutely. I
They
think
know that, yeah.
go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
So it's just they know that you came to Canada to study. I'll not say that other people don't come to study, but
I get
believe me, the employers do think that if you are just, yeah.
very, very fair point. Yeah, I think for the most amount of students uh, entering into Canada for studying, most of them would pick up a UG diploma or a PG diploma. And so you're
Yeah,
absolutely, if you have a degree that you've been accepted into, it normally gives that reflection that you're actually academically interested and not just going there for.
yeah, that's right.
Uh,
Either it's like you have a good experience in like a multinational firm or something in India. Otherwise, you should have a good degree in Canada to get a good job here. So I didn't had any great experience, but I had the MBA degree. I think that's what helped me to get a good job in Canada.
yeah, and I also think with so many Indian students moving, the diaspora number has been so high. You actually need to stand out of the crowd, like you said.
That's right.
Would love to know that when I mean, what is it about UCW that you would really recommend to our attendees here? What makes you believe that UCW is a good business school and is actually the right one for any student in India willing to build a career for themselves in Canada?
UCW, now I know that like they have a new beautiful campus. I have been there. The camp, like most of the students in UCW, I'll say that 50 to 60% of the students are from India. So you do get the opportunity to be with the people who you really belong to. It makes easier for you to get along with the studies. Plus, what is happening now is like most of the professors also they are what like uh, age, like for example people of age like 40 to 45 years, they come to UCW, they study there, they pass out, they do their PhDs, and then they become a teacher at UCW. So some of the teachers there, they are graduates of UCW, so they know the pain behind everything, they know what they need to tell us for us to get good grades or get good understanding. So I had 2 or 3 professors who graduated from UCW. So they know every inch, every detail of the program, and they know how to blend it with the experience you need to get. So that thing was really good. And also UCW provides you, like in the last semester, they provide you with courses, like they have the real business entrepreneurs who come to the meetings with the students in colleges, and then they tell you what business they have. They have a real actual business. They tell you what business they have and what they need from you. So for example, in my digital marketing program, I had an entrepreneur who had his online platform where he sold health products. So he came to us, professor set up a meeting in which he was there, and then a group of 5 people, we were there. So he was putting up requirements, he was setting up targets that I need to sell this much products through digital marketing. I need to make this much sales in this much month for digital marketing. And you guys need to set up a way, you guys need to promote my business so that I can sell the products. And the most amazing thing was that it was a real business, it was a real website. So you really get to know what people in Canada want. Like he already has a business for 2 or 3 years, and then he came to us to make us do things which can promote his business. So these kind of things, like they also have internships or something, but I didn't went for internship. But this was a really good way of learning things. Like if you learn from a real business person in Canada, they can tell you a lot about it. So if in a class there were 6 groups, and there were six groups were like, there were 6 different business persons who were attending each group, and then they were requiring every group to help them grow their business in Canada. And plus the thing is that after that, if your group really stands out, if you if you give like really good feedback or suggestions that really help their business to grow, after you complete your MBA, they even promise to hire you if they are happy with you. So they can even hire you once you complete your MBA. They'll be like, just come to me. I know you did a great job for my business and my sales boomed and everything. So there are a lot of opportunities.
Right. So what you're largely saying is it's not just the personal touch and the investment that the faculty has in you, but also the industrial immersion and exposure that
Exactly.
the school gives you. So, got that. I think now is a good time to ask you that how many specializations does UCW offer, and what kind of career options are linked. But even before all of that, I would love for our attendees to know that University Canada West is a partner of upGrad. You can always bypass the eligibility requirement of work experience or GMAT score, or being from a BBA, BCom background, regardless of which background you're from, regardless if you appeared for GMAT or not, regardless if you've had 3 years of progressive experience or not. You can actually start your MBA right now from India. We've got a pathway through IMT Ghaziabad, which is an AACSP school with a similar global accreditation that similar to what UCW has. So UCW has 3 of them. It's ACBSP, AACSP, and then their own Canadian accreditation as well, called NPMA. So now IMT Ghaziabad will teach you for 11 months, with which 4 out of the 15 subjects that you do in MBA that Rishab had to do, they get waived off. So you ultimately just do 11 subjects. So not only does it cost you much lesser, it costs you 10,000 Canadian dollars lesser. You save about 1 trimester of living expenses. But also, you can start right away. So you don't have to wait until you get the visa. You don't have to wait until you get an entry. You don't have to wait until you get all the funds. You can start for 1 year. And now the foundation program is also waived off. If you do the IMT pathway, the foundation program is waived off. Now, in parallel, if you've had a work experience, you can afford it. You come from a BBA, BCom background and have 70% marks. You're absolutely eligible to do a direct MBA, just like Rishab did as well. We will help you with it. We will get your visa and application support done. We'll have everything done. So all you have to do is decide whether you want to go through a direct route or a pathway route through IMT Ghaziabad. IMT will actually allow you to study right away. And when we apply for you to the UCW campus directly, it will take you some time until you get everything sorted. We'll ask Rishab more on how did he get his visa. But I think for now, I just want you guys to know that IMT Ghaziabad will cost you 3 lakh rupees. UCW will cost you $10,000 lesser than the regular course. would love to redirect to Rishab now and ask him how much did he pay for the complete MBA course?
It was pretty expensive. So, including my foundation, I also did my foundation because I was not from a BBA background. So, in all, it costed me around $35,000 to $40,000.
$35,000, right? So just
Yes.
so you know, the UCW MBA is 15 subjects wide, has 45 credits, and so every credit costs you close to about 900 CAD, and
Yeah.
with upgrad you actually save 12 credits out of the 45. Would love to know, Rishabh, from your classmates and yourself, which specializations did you guys pick up, and which one do you see, do you anticipate has the most amount of employability?
Yeah. So some of them, as far as I remember, they were digital marketing, which I picked, and then you have financial planning, and then you have business analytics. So the most interesting one for me was digital marketing because, like in today's world, you all know that because of the pandemic, the online sales boomed. So even here in Canada, Amazon was at peak between the COVID time. They were selling a lot of stuff. Even the online websites were like booming because all obviously the stores were closing, physical stores were closing all around. And then even after that, people got a habit to just buy things online. Even in India, I know people just prefer to buy things online now, groceries, clothes, and everything, even the phones and everything. So here in Canada, I I wanted that. I think this was a very booming thing. Digital marketing everywhere, even in India, digital marketing is really growing. So I took the specialization in digital marketing. I attended two of the programs which were related to digital marketing. One was e-commerce, and the second was digital marketing. So they, in specialization, they just go deep into details. Like in e-commerce, they made us learn how to set up a website, for example, how to use Shopify to create a website or something. And then in digital marketing, they tell you the insights which you learn in e-commerce. So one course just tell you just makes you understand what is the base of doing setting up a website or something, and then the next course tells you the insights of how you actually use a website, how you actually uh, make more viewers or make followers on the website. So other than that, you in digital marketing, I think obviously, like in even in financial planning, there is a good scope and career in Canada, because here in Canada, if you do an MBA, you would I believe that it is very good if you go for a specialization. So if you do finance MBA in financial planning, you can just go to any audit firm, you can go to tax firms, and they can hire you because they know you did a specialization in MBA. Even in digital marketing, you can go to you can apply for jobs for Amazon. They hire people who manage their websites, or which helps in talent acquisition and everything. Other than that, you can go for business analytics. So business analytics is used by any business in running in Canada. They use the analytics, but business analytics was more of getting knowledge of which was involving, I can say, if you have a background of business studies in India, or you know a lot about doing analytics, doing maths and all, then it was a good course. But I didn't like maths much, so I went for digital marketing. That was the most interesting option for me, as also I did my graduation in animation and multimedia, so I had a little touch of digital marketing in that.
Got that. So what you're largely saying is uh, specialization in an MBA would amplify or increase their chances of getting employment in specific jobs.
Yes.
Got that. Absolutely. I think now is a good time to start taking questions, Rishabh. Let's go to the Q&A. Shashank says, is the webinar only for undergrads? Wrong. What we do have BCom for undergrads and MBA for the post graduation. The BCom is on a 2+2 setup, so you can either do 1 year in India, 3 years abroad. So Canadian bachelor degrees are for 4 years. So you do 1 year in India, 3 years in Canada, or 2 years in India, 2 years in Canada. So you save up almost 40 lakhs rupees. So the complete bachelor's can cost you 25 lakhs instead of 60 lakhs. So yes, we've got undergraduate courses in UCW also. What are the post-job opportunities? Post-job, I think you mean post-study, right? After business analytics. So he wants to know what sort of jobs are there after business and analytics specialization.
After business analytics, like for example, most of the offices here are there in downtown Vancouver. So you can apply for firms which like they specifically hire for business analytics. I haven't been through that process. I didn't went for business analytics, so I don't know much. But even if you open Indeed in India, you'll see business analytics jobs in Canada. So those jobs, I think they also offer the remote jobs. So some companies like Toronto is a very big place for business, and they do offer remote jobs. So while in BC, you can also go for the jobs which are offered in Toronto. And yeah, I don't know much about business analytics right now.
Yeah, just for all our attendees to know, Rishab comes from a digital marketing specialization. Can we do in Canada from through online mode by staying in a home country and still get a PGWP? Well, no, you have to spend more than 8 months at least to get any amount of PGWP. And 2 years, if you're completing a course which is 2 years long, you get a 3-year PGWP, right? So I hope I answered that, Rishab. Given that Canada mostly works on networking and Canadian work experience, how much does the university brand name matter, and how much will one's past work experience also matter? Good question. Please go ahead, Rishab. So he wants to know how much does the university ranking or brand name matter?
It does matter. Like if we compare UCW to any government university, for example, University of British Columbia, UBC is really big university. If you pass out from a university like UBC, probably you will get job offers while studying. Once you're about to complete your masters, you will get good job offers. But the thing is that not everyone can spend that much amount of money. The MBA there is like I think $70,000 to $80,000. Plus, you cannot like I think out of 10 people in UCW, only one can get the opportunity to really go to UBC, because we usually don't fulfill their requirements. They require a really high score. They require previous experiences. They require GMAT and everything. But in all, I believe that once you do your MBA, on your resume, the thing that stands out is MBA, not the university. So the employer will still choose that you did masters, no matter from where university, because in Canada and BC, there are only a few universities which offer MBA. So it's not like they will think that you did MBA from any XYZ university. There are just a few universities. So what will stand out is that you did masters. And about previous work experience, it does matter in Canada, but I really think that like in Canada, the employers, if they see that you have been working in a big, like a multi-corp company in Canada, in India, then they would consider that experience. Otherwise, like if for me, I wrote my family business as the experience, I worked 6 months, but they were like, obviously family business, okay, everyone works in India in family businesses. But if you have good experience in India, then yes, you can mention that experience here. And if they think that it is worth crediting, then yes, they will take that experience and count it as a Canadian experience and then provide you a job with that.
So yeah, I think that's very fair. So you're saying a family business experience may or may not take you very far, but if
Yes.
have a solid experience in India, it normally goes a long way.
Yes, that's right.
Is that MBA would matter more than the exact college, because there are not a very high number of schools giving an MBA. Yes.
Yes.
About that, I think so. Somebody's asked, how is the reputation of UCW among employers after completing MBA? So I think I'll rephrase this. I think let me know what sort of employers come to UCW, or how, I mean, so which companies do you know of that have employed UCW MBA grads?
So the thing is that like because of COVID, I don't think so many employers came to UCW. But usually what happens is that once you complete your MBA, you yourself have to apply for jobs unless you are like a top performer. Some professors in UCW, they also recommend you to other people, to other employers if they think that you are really like outstanding, if they think that you are the one which can help that particular employer grow. So the professors, they know some people, they know business entrepreneurs, they can connect you with those people. Otherwise, the option is that I don't think so UCW doesn't offer on-campus placements. Most of the universities in Canada, they don't offer on-campus placements. But once you do your MBA, you can still go for like any jobs because yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I said, please.
Yeah, so they don't offer campus placements, but yes, if if you make good connections with people, you make good connections with professors, they can recommend you to some people. And here, if you get a recommendation from professor, all the professors are PhDs. So if you get any recommendation from the professor, you apply to any job in Canada. I think that 50% of there is more 50% chance that the employer will pick you because of the reference of the professor. So
Yeah,
they do really matter.
yeah, I think so. One of the things that you're saying largely is the LOR, who is actually recommending you. That makes a lot.
Yes.
Got that. Wonderful. Just want to know about scholarships available in Canada. So, anonymous attendee, I don't know what your name is, but I do know that UCW gives you up to $6,000 of scholarship on your MBA fee. I think Rishab can talk more about
Yeah.
that. But like he mentioned, you have to score really high on GPA. I think over to you, Rishab.
Yeah. So for scholarships, yes, I did got the scholarship for $6,000. Mine's they have like different criterias and different scholarships, but the one I got was because of my 12th and my graduation grades in India. I got the scholarship. So how the scholarship works is that first you have to attend 4 semesters in a continuous basis, and you have to pass in all the subjects in all the 4 semesters. So once you reach to the fifth semester, fourth or fifth semester, then they start giving you the scholarship. They start disbursing you the credits which you got. So for example, once I was almost about to complete my fourth semester, they gave me a $6,000 scholarship. So for the last semester, if the fees was around $7,500, I just paid $1,500. But if you are not, I did the foundation program, but if you are not doing the foundation program, then you save $7,000 on that, plus you get the $6,000 scholarship.
Got that. Absolutely. Define tough as you may. Oh my God, somebody wants to know you better. So I'm just.
Tough for me was in India. I did like graduation in animation and multimedia, so that course was not typically based on assignments or written stuff. That was more on practical things, making projects and on computer, making videos or something. But once I started MBA, it was totally based on your research. So I never did a lot of research in India, but here in MBA you have to do a lot of research. So I'll recommend you start reading books. Like everyone says reading books is boring, but yes, start reading some books, start reading articles on internet, start making a habit of what an article told you and how you can refer that article in your assignments or something. So research is a very important part. That was difficult for me, but with time you get to know how to do research, how to use references. So tough is also like if one of your most of my friends in Canada, they were doing diplomas. So if you talk to them, how are your studies going? They'll be like, fine. We just like study a few hours in a week. But I was like, no, I study a few hours a day. So obviously you are doing MBA, you need to study harder than the other people, right? So they will be like, no, I am enjoying. You'll be like, no, I'm studying. But at the end, you are getting MBA, they are getting diplomas.
Absolutely, you are 100% right. So the next one is how many days a week do we have to attend the classes?
It is usually 3 to 4 days in a week. but I set up my schedule in such a way that it was like 3 days a week, and plus it was online, so it was not really difficult for me. Still, I think UCW is offering online courses. Even if you are here, you can still go for online course if you don't wish to go to college, or you think that something bad would happen because of COVID. You can still go for some online courses, and then if you think that finance is a course that you will understand better on campus, you can go to campus for doing that course, that particular course.
Got that. How much percentage is required? So for us, you need a 50% in your bachelor's to get into IMT Ghaziabad's program, PGP management. It's a dual degree course. You get a PGP from IMT followed by an MBA from UCW. And then you need 70% marks in your PGP to get through to your pathway to UCW. But I think I'd love to know from Rishab how much percentage was required for him when he directly enrolled himself into UCW.
I guess the requirement was above 60%. If you have a degree in India which you scored above 60%, then I think that was the requirement at that time. I had like 75% in my graduation, so it was all good for me. But still, I had to do the foundation program because of non-business background.
Right. So just for you guys to know, if you're not from the BBA BCom background, you can actually take up the IMT PGP route. That also waives off the foundation that Rishab had to do. So, and that gives you additional credits for 4 subjects. So you save a lot of time. Can you please share your GPA and graduation? And can we know what kind of GPAs can get scholarships? I can also throw more light on it, but I think I would love to know from Rishab first that how much did he, but I'm not sure how does that matter, that what GPA did he get, but I can tell you the scholarship. So,
mine, I don't remember exactly, but it was, I think, above 3 or something like.
So for all of you to know, a GPA scale of 4.33, of which he's mentioned that he's got 3.
No, it was way above 3, but I don't exactly remember. But I do remember that like in all the courses, I scored above 80%. So in UCW, the passing is 72% in each course. Like and also in aggregate, you need to make 72% in a semester to pass their semester. So mine was usually above 80%. And while reaching the last semesters, I went up to 85-90% in subjects. In finance, I got like 98 score out of 100. So that all in all made my GPA very better.
Got that. I think just for us to know better, I think Bhupinder is asking, if you've got experience, then one will have to go through foundation. So there are 3 ways of getting into UCW. You need a BBA or BCom with a specific amount of percent. Or you have 3 years of progressive experience. So you're doing a job, but you have a progression. You've become either a team leader or a manager. So you have to show that kind of thing. Third is you've got to go get a score of GMAT of 550 plus. So one of these 3 has to be true in order to get there. I think Rishab can throw more light on it, but which is how you can bypass, or if else you have to get a foundation done. How long was the foundation course and how much would it cost you?
It was just like a normal semester. It was 3 months, and then it costed around $7,000 or something. Yeah, that was just a key to enter MBA. I was like, no, I don't want to do it, but eventually you have to do it. It's just if you don't have the business experience, you need to use that key to enter MBA. Otherwise, they won't allow you to do that.
Got that.
Even what you can do is like if you don't have a BB or BCom degree, but you do have a good experience in business in India, you can still follow up with them. You can still send them emails that I worked in this position, I worked in this company, I did this much things and related to business. So they can, if you go for a direct MBA, then they can possibly waive off your foundation. But still, those 3 things that you told, that are exactly the 3 things that they need. One of the 3 things. Yeah.
So that after completing IMT plus UCW program, how many years of PSW one will get? Very good question. You get up to 3 years of post-study work visa. That's largely for the visa officer to give you, but it's a 2-year program. So you get up to 3 years of post-study work visa. 15 months is absolutely mandatory. You do get it. That happens anyway, but you can actually apply for 3 years because it's a 2-year program. In Canada, so here's how it works. 0 to 8 months, you don't get anything. 8 months to 2 years, you get exactly the duration of the course which you enroll in. But if it's a 2-year long program or after, you can get exactly 3 years of PGWP. Can Bca students pursue MBA? Anybody can pursue MBA. That's a universal degree. Even a master's can also do an MBA. But remember, the criteria in that case is always your bachelor's marks, not your master's marks. So your last qualification is still it's still going to be your bachelor marks, not your master's. Scope for human resource, there is absolutely all the time scope for HR management. I can redirect that to Rishab and ask if his friends who've done HR management can sort of help.
I don't know any of my friends who land up in HR jobs usually. So like there are, if you talk about HR, there are like 1,000 jobs in HR. So people like in Canada, it's all about experience. So if even after I did my MBA, like going for an insurance job was not related to MBA in any kind. But then you just need to like opt for different things. You need to try different things just to get experience. But eventually, if like I like this job, so probably I'll just land up in this job in future in another big company or something. So it's like you need to try different jobs even in HR. If you talk about financial planning, one of my friends, she is studying in UCW right now. She's in her 4th or 5th semester. She was from a finance background and she got a really good job in downtown Vancouver. She works in an audit firm now. So the options are immense. Yeah.
Got that works. If we do MBA via IMT, we need to pay 25K CAD. So yes, you need to give 3 lakhs for the IMT PGP. That you can divide across 12 months of easy monthly installments without any interest. And then finally, you're going to be paying for the UCW fee for, so there's a visa category called student direct stream. You pay 1 year of your tuition fee. That's for 9 subjects, right? How much is that? That I can tell you. 9 subjects is going to be.
I guess it's around $20,000 or something. $22,000. Yeah.
That's one thing that you have to pay. Then you have a guaranteed investment certificate, GIC, that you get made. That's what CAD. That's what you have to show, but that's after a year, right? The GIC is more or less like a fixed deposit. It's your money, but it's
like a pocket money.
Yeah, so they keep releasing or disbursing every month, right? Great. He wants to know, we need to do 11 months with 4 subjects. No, so the 11 months of PGP gets you a diploma, a postgraduate program in management. That waives off foundation of 3 months, right?
Yeah.
Plus 4 subjects, that's 4 months long. So 7 months of your studies is waived off, my friend. And then finally you go for 15 months to Canada and you do 11 subjects. So hope I could make it clear to you, Tanuj. Tell us the ranking of UCW. I think UCW is about 50 odd ranking out of the 100 schools that they have in Canada. They want to know how many years of PSW you got, Rishab.
Yeah, I got 3 years postgraduate work permit. Usually, like I believe 99% of the people, if you complete more than 1.5 year of study, you do get a 3-year work permit. It's not like very difficult to get that. It's just you complete your studies and usually they give you a 3-year work permit. But the problem sometimes which happens, I know people who did 1 + 1 year studies. So they came, did 1 year diploma, and then before completing that diploma, they joined another diploma for 1 year. Then in some situations, the visa officers, they think that you did 1 year, you eventually you came for only 1 year. But then because you wanted to stay in Canada, you did another year just to get the work permit. So sometimes because of that reason, they give you less than 3 years of work permit. But in usual cases, they give you 3 years.
Got that. Has there been any case in your, I mean, among your classmates where they haven't worked for three-year post-study work?
No, it's just if you drop your studies, you don't continue only that in that case. Otherwise, if you are just a regular student, then it's all good. No problems in getting work permit. Canada needs employees.
Got that. Wonderful. Got that. Can we say that? I almost answered everything. Bhupinder, if you got experience for 3 years, then you don't have to go through foundation, which is why I said you can bypass that, with IMT, or even if you want to directly go, that largely depends on your application and how much do they give you as a waiver. Or like he said, they will waive off the foundation for you. There's a strong chance, right? I think Vipul asked me something. He's almost screaming at me virtually. Can one stay in job in Canada still apply for this program? Is it legal? So Vipul, when you're doing a course, you can just work part-time, but I would still pass this on to Rishab. That can somebody work full-time in Canada and still get MBA? Not part-time, work full-time in Canada.
Full-time, like you can only work full-time if you are on a work permit. If you are on a study permit, you can only work 20 hours per week, 20 to 22 hours. So yeah, I did like part-time work for 1.5 years till my MBA got completed, and then you can work like any hour, any amount of hours once you get your work permit.
Got that. So I hope you're not screaming at me anymore, Vipul. Yeah, he's writing my name in capital.
Listen me.
Rohan wants to know, is the PGWP based on employment or everybody gets that? So PGWP is postgraduate work permit. Okay.
It is based on education and not employment.
Absolutely. And every university has a DLI number, designated learning institution number. If your university has a DLI number, which UCW does, you get the PGW. And every university, irrespective that if they have a DLI number or not, has a certain dedicated set of courses that are eligible for PGWP and MBAs, of course. Can we manage MBA and part-time job at the same time? Yes, Rishab just reaffirmed that. You can work 20 hours a week when you're studying, and 4 months when you're on a break, or 3 months when you're break, you work for 40 hours a week.
Yeah, right.
Did graduation in BTech IT, looking more so into project management, consultant role in IT firm after MBA? Well, yes, consultation is an actual specialization in MBA at UCW.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Let me name.
There is also a course. Sorry to disturb you. There is also a course which is the name of the course is Consulting Practice. It is mandatory for all MBA students. It's not an optional course. So if you do that course, you can, after I guess it drops in third or fourth semester. So once you do that course, you can get to know better if you want to do specialization in that. It's a really interesting course.
Absolutely. The full length, or so the full set of majors or specializations that UCW offers, one is business analytics, that talks about machine learning, predictive analytics, cloud computing. And there's consulting, like he said, consulting practice is one of them, change management, capstone project. Then there's entrepreneurship, then there's finance, and there's human resource management, then there's leadership, marketing, digital marketing, the one that Rishab has done, non-profit, and project management. So you actually have project management as well. Mayur is being very ambitious, asking, are you going to partner with University of Toronto, Waterloo, and UBC? Well, I wish we could, but we help you with admissions in Waterloo, yes. We help you with admissions in UBC and Toronto, yes. But we don't have such a setup for that, right? Is there MBA program with data science specialization offered in UCW? I think not, but I think the closest is going to be analytics.
Right? Yes, that's right.
Which cities have more job opportunities apart from Toronto or Vancouver? I think Rishab can answer that.
Most popular are, yes, Toronto and Vancouver. Other than that, you can go to Quebec, but the requirement there is that you have to learn French. you should before going there because people there, they just consider French as an asset. If you don't know French, they will be like, we won't hire you even if you have a good degree or something. uh, the most I think, yeah, the growing options are just like in Vancouver, Lower Mainland, and then in Toronto.
Yeah, so largely you got
Yeah,
were Ottawa and Montreal, but like he
yeah.
said, Montreal is in Quebec. Quebec City, Montreal, both are French-speaking cities. And I'm not sure how much would we thrive if we don't know French. When do I apply for a PR?
A good question. So PR, it's like once you complete your studies, you need a specific knock job. So there are different knocks in Canada, knock O, A, B, C. So you need to get a job which is knock B or above knock B. Once you get that job, you need a full 1 year experience working full time. Once you complete that 1 year experience in a particular job, then you are eligible to file your PR, but you need your 1 year experience in a specified knock job. Knock jobs are like you cannot do labor work, you cannot work at Tim Hortons and get a PR because yeah, they need specific skills that uh, earlier it was like you can still work in food chains and get a PR, but now they need specific knock jobs. So, for example, the job which I have, I work as an insurance advisor. That is a knock B job. So, as soon as I complete my 1 year, which would be done in next 2 months, I can file my PR.
Got that.
And plus, MBA helps you get, I guess, like 10 extra points in your PR.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you answer more? Do we need to score 72% foundation in each subject? Is
In found, it's usually like you need to score above 60% in each subject, but in aggregate you need to score 72% in a semester. So there are certain subjects which have a requirement of like 72% in that particular subject, but overall in a semester you need to be above 72, and in each subject you need to be above 60. Below 60 is fail, and in aggregate you need to make 72% total.
got that. And it's also similar in their pathway here when they go through the IMT route. They actually have to score at least 70% in the PGP. Can we manage MBA in part-time? Yes. So I think largely we're done with the question. I am a BBA graduate with 9.4 CGPA and 8 IELTS. So UCW will grant you both the scholarship for your English proficiency and your IELTS and your academic excellence both. How much I can give you a URL? Just follow that. There you go. I can also send it to everybody on the chat box on the total, the sort of scholarships that we have on secondaries. I've already done my MBA in finance and marketing. I think we've largely covered everything. Ranjita wants to know what is the duration of your course? Was it 16 months or complete 2 years? So largely the courses are for 16 months, but I can still give it to Rishab on how he covered it through 2 years.
Yeah, 100%. It's 16 months, but like if you end up doing a foundation course, that adds 3 extra months. And then if you take a summer break or if you take a break between semesters, you take a break of 4 months. So that adds in total 7 extra months to your course.
Vedant is aggressive. He's asking, the university name does matter. So Vedant, largely, Rishab and I are of the viewpoint that, look, you've got 2 options. One is a diploma, one is an MBA. Now, diploma, like he said, would never help you stand out because largely they know why you're here in Canada, with what intention are you here. Now, MBA, he said there are universities like University of Toronto, University of British Columbia, you've got Waterloo. And so with all of those combined, everybody knows they're very expensive, right? So you've only got a few options left. And going to a university and getting your MBA is better than having a PG diploma, right? So that's the argument here. That's the rationale here, that instead of not doing anything, do an MBA. If not from University of Toronto or University of British Columbia, which will cost you about $60,000, it's better that you have an MBA that you can largely afford in under 20 lakhs, right? So that's
Yes. And like ranking wise, there's no particular rank that anyone can give to university usually. But the thing is that UCW is like a really growing university here. Once I came, I was like, okay, maybe it's not too good. But eventually, in a year or something, I was like amazed to see their new building, their new hoardings everywhere in Surrey and Vancouver. You'll see UCW hoardings on the buses, on the streets, everywhere. So it's a well-known university, and plus they have a beautiful campus. Which once you like enter downtown Vancouver, you'll see two big buildings that UCW occupies. So now it's a really good and growing university.
wonderful. And I also believe that because they're doing their MBA in a campus located in downtown Vancouver, they get a lot
Yes.
better part-time work also. Uh, is it compulsory to have 16 years of education? No, you don't. You don't. You don't. You don't. It is not required. Like Rishab mentioned, if there's anything at all, they will redirect you to a foundation course, and that's it. Twinkle says, "Is it better to get an MBA degree from top college?" If so, I think there's this one final question for you. Prior to that, just let me take one. Is there an MBA program with data science? Yes, we've got a Masters of Science, Data Science in Germany, Master of Science, Data Science in the United States, Master of Science in Data and Analytics in the United States, and Master of Science in Analytics in the United States. We've also got an MBA with Data Analytics in Canada, from a university in Ottawa, and then finally an MBA from UCW, right? And so we've got US and Germany options, as well as Canada for an MBA. Carleton University is the name. It's in Ottawa, which is the capital of Canada. But Carleton MBA, like I was telling you prior, that costs you about 30 lakhs of rupees. So you have to take, at some point you have to make a trade-off, right? About what is it that you can afford and what is it that fits your aspirations well. Now, the final one to you, Rishab, is it better to get an MBA degree from a top college? If I do it from an average college, will it make a lot of difference?
Yeah, it's like I think I already answered it, but yeah, not a lot of universities offer MBA, but it will eventually, if you do MBA from a top university, for example, UBC, it will matter more than any other university. But eventually, there are many different aspects that everyone needs to look for: money, time, energy, and the requirements that first you need to fulfill to enter a specific university. So, but my suggestion and my experience only tells me that if I land up in MBA, I know UCW is a good university. If I land up there, then I can complete my MBA and finally get it on my resume, and then I can like probably grow more here rather than just waiting for a good university, or rather than just trying to fulfill the requirements to enter MBA. It's better to start MBA.
Absolutely. I think that makes absolute sense. Just wanted to thank you for being here with us. I think we had
No problem.
answered everything impeccably well. Wishing you all the best. I think you cleared.
Thank you.
And like Rishab mentioned, there are so many auditing, accounting, analytics, marketing jobs with data science as a requirement, more business development jobs. But just remember that your MBA should be with a specialization. You use employers. He mentioned a few. I know of the fact that UCW has a 96.9% employability, and the fact that UCW's employers include Apple, Siemens, Nova Scotia Bank, and whatnot. So it's a great MBA school. It has the highest accreditations, AAC, SP, ACP, SP, NPNA. So we're doing extremely well with them. Would love for you to write to us. My email is praneet.singh@upgrad.com. Please feel free to write to me. My colleague has put down our SL handles. Jatin says, which course specialization has in MBA is more employment? He said digital marketing and analytics, which is what he mentioned. But I think largely it's got to do with your interest also, right?
Exactly.
If it's an MBA elective, then it is employable. Always remember that. But which one should be also about you rather than jobs? Jobs you'll get if you could. Yes? Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to ask you if I said the right thing. Rishab?
Yeah, the 100%.
Absolutely. Does 1 year program assure PR in Canada? Yes, it does. Do we need GMAT to apply? You don't. So we've answered almost everything. Wishing all of you all the best. Thank you so much for joining us, Rishab.
No problem. It was great.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us. If I could not answer any of the questions, please feel free to write them down on my email. It's praneet.singh@upgrad.com. Thank you very much, everybody.